You're really an 80s fan. Okay, Tootsie, here's some more stuff for you.
I want you.
I beg your pardon.
It's I Love the 80s Strikes Back. And this is 1982 again.
Lincoln Lizard.
The flicks.
Jack masturbate.
The fashions. The trends. The TV.
Will you calm down? Who was at the studio?
The tunes. A totally awesome year that gave us even more burning questions. Just how badly was Annie abused?
Instead of kisses, we get kicked.
Instead of kisses, we get whipped.
What's better, Atari or ColecoVision?
Atari was a joke. It was a sick joke compared to ColecoVision. I spit on Atari.
And why is Captain Kirk so pissed off at Mr. Rourke? The answers to those questions, plus cuddling with the Great One.
You know, on a lonely night, sometimes I take my 12-inch Wayne Gretzky and I snuggle up in front of the fire, and I make love to it.
And everyone's favorite abusive drill instructor.
Stop whispering, sweet Pete. You give me a hard on.
Because you can't get enough 80s. Because you've still got that pair of roos. Admit it. This is 1982 Strikes Back.
Learn how to fly. How?
Fame loved it.
Changed the way I watch TV. I used to run home to watch Fame.
I was only allowed to watch 1 hour of TV a week, and that was what I watched.
Fame takes place at a public high school where the focus of the curriculum is performing arts and where the students dance on the lunch tables.
It was cool, like early in New York, and people in messed up clothes. Like there was a lot of like, yeah, how are you doing today? I don't know what happened to my shirt. I don't either. Don't I seem smart?
I remember Nia Peoples got her start on Fame, the TV show.
I loved Danny Amatullo for the mere fact that he was cute.
They had the first gay character, a Leroy. You know he was gay because he was always doing this kind of stuff, you know.
I remember Janet Jackson. That was a big deal when Janet came on Fame.
Janet Jackson was in Fame. Enough said.
I just love Debbie Allen. Debbie Allen was always beating the floor with that stick.
And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
You have to have a stick. You have to correct. Semi-torture.
You gotta want it. Debbie Allen, I want it.
That was the laziest, sloppiest, dumbest performance I have ever seen in my life.
Don't come into Debbie Allen's classroom if you're not prepared to start paying for it. Not in money, in sweat.
Right here is where you start paying in sweat.
I like the one where they broke out into song. I'm kidding. And the same thing happened on every episode.
Fame, I want to rip my t-shirt, exposing my nipples in the streets of New York.
The sun will come out
Tomorrow!
Get your bottom dollar, I got an afro.
There'll be sun. Who wouldn't want to adopt him?
Just thinking about tomorrow.
I'm not doing this.
It's like every little girl, an aspiring actress or singer wants to play Annie.
Lincoln Lizard.
Annie is about this little girl from an orphanage who just wants to be loved.
Yeah, she's stuck in the orphanage with the horrible Miss Hannigan.
Love you, Miss Hannigan.
Shut up.
Cara Burnett is absolutely amazing.
Did I hear singing in here?
She's all boozed up.
We all knew she's mean because she wears really red lipstick and crazy hair and droopy boobs.
And if this floor don't shine,
Like the top of the Chrysler building.
her backside will.
It's a hard knock life for us.
It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of kisses, we get kicked.
Instead of kisses, we get whipped.
She ends up getting adopted by this rich man.
I want to talk to you about Ash.
Albert Finney is great, is all bald and shiny, playing the kind of cold, rich man.
What's this?
Annie! Yes, Daddy Warbucks! Come out of there!
It was a little weird. But the thing was that he wanted a little boy.
I want a boy!
Which is even weirder. And then when he got a little girl, she's like, I had the same smile.
Like my suit?
Oh, yeah.
And then she changes everybody and he falls in love with her.
I love you, Daddy Warbucks.
She's the ultimate rags to riches story. And I think in the 80s that was really everyone's dream to like make something of yourself. But no matter what I am now, like I could be a little red-haired princess too.
It's 1982, and I think Steve Miller Band is like, okay, it's the 80s now, so gotta bump it up a notch. And they came out with Abracadabra.
I want to reach out and grab you.
Great 80s song, Steve Miller. His last number one.
How is he going to rhyme abracadabra with anything? Abracadabra is unrhymable. What the? Grab you.
You make me hot, you make me sigh.
It's a little gropey, that song. It's a little date rapey.
Make me cry.
Well, you can't make a video. Your song is called Abracadabra. It's gotta be magic. But boy, that was that cheesy.
Stupid magic tricks and, pastels for no reason.
The video had scarves involved.
Who likes magic? Magic in the video? Are you kidding me? You're Steve Miller, man. Fly like an eagle.
Steve Miller was cool, and then all this abracadabra. It's like, I don't know, a good one went down.
Don't you find being a woman in the 80s complicated?
Extremely.
Tootsie was an actor, Dustin Hoffman, who can't get any work.
Nobody will hire you.
And he decides to put himself in drag. And then he gets a job as the ugliest woman on a soap opera.
I'd like to make her look a little more attractive. How far can you pull back?
How do you feel about Cleveland?
I think that was probably one of the most brilliant makeup jobs I've ever seen done on a guy.
There was something beautiful about Tootsie, even though you know it's Dustin Hoffman.
He's not a very pretty drag queen, is he? Let's face it. What's the point of doing drag if you can look dreary?
Was he my taste? No. But I could see myself going there.
And then he just had that Southern Belle accent.
I said good day, Dr. Brewster. Good day, Dr. Brewster. I said good day.
He was great. He was Dorothy Michaels. He looked exactly like the mayor of Houston at that time, Kathy Whitmire.
I want you.
I beg your pardon.
I've never wanted a woman this much.
It was gross, and I remember then he had to go kiss somebody, which I really felt was disgusting at that point because there was no Will and Grace back then.
He's the woman, and he's going to kiss Jessica Lange.
That was sort of fantasy for me in a bizarre way.
You just go, oh, God, don't do it, don't.
You don't. I got it. Let me explain. No, please don't say anything. But there's a reason.
Oh, I remember Jessica Lange. She was unbelievable.
But she had this great combination of almost mildly retarded soap star and beautiful girl.
I know what boys like. It all culminates when he wants off the show. And so what he does is in his big final scene, he removes the false eyelashes, he takes off the makeup, he takes off the wig. And I said, I'm Edward Kimberly, your long-lost brother.
I'm Edward Kimberly, the reckless brother of my sister Anthony.
She comes over and she hits him. And then later they end up getting together anyway.
The moral of the movie was if you dress in drag, you can nail Jessica Lange.
I just gotta learn to do it without the dress.
Now you can bring the arcade experience home. Introducing ColecoVision.
ColecoVision was pretty rad at the time. It was a notch above the Atari 2600.
This was state-of-the-art video game nirvana.
ColecoVision had some good games, though, and it was the first...
It looked awesome.
Yeah, it was the first video game system that actually looked like games that were in the arcades at the time.
Oh, yeah. This is the schnizzle.
That is so pathetic that this is a joystick.
Yeah, it looks more like a calculator.
What were you supposed to do with all these numbers? I don't quite understand.
You could play Frogger or make long-distance phone calls with these things.
I had the Smurf ColecoVision game. It went something like this.
Chirpy, 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 chirpy.
Like that. That's kind of what it was.
Oh, did they have burger time on ColecoVision?
My God, I forgot about Burger Time.
I was more of an Atari girl.
Atari was a joke. It was a sick joke compared to ColecoVision. I spit on Atari.
With an Atari, you would get these weird calluses right here. With this one, you could just rest your hand on it. You could kind of do like this. Which if your mom came in, you were sitting like this, you know, you got you in trouble. If you didn't have the ColecoVision.
The breakup songs of 1982.
Because this boy too has love without a reason, I, Boy George, console you with the breakup songs of 1982. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to hurt me by, well, you know who? The time will tell. Only Time Will Tell by Asia. And Harden My Heart by Quarter Flash. The breakup songs of 82. Aren't you prepared to let go now?
John Cougar really defined the American farmland, countryside, middle America breadbasket in the 80s, which I thought was great.
Ain't that America? You and me. I mean, and I was black, and I was singing it, you know?
He was really cute, and everyone was just, we all fell in love with him.
He may have had some kind of identity crisis because he was always changing his stage name.
Yeah, he went from John Cougar to John Cougar Mellencamp, and I thought, did he get married?
Johnny Cougar was actually his first name. They called him Johnny Cougar. Went back to John Cougar. Then went to John Mellencamp. Then went to John Cougar Mellencamp. Then went to John Mellencamp. Now I'm totally confused.
It's always confusing when someone does a 180 like that and drops a name.
Hurts so good. The girls in that video are rad. The girls that Hurt So Good were my kind of ladies, man. Kind of serve you a beer and then open it for you with their teeth.
Did you make it hurt so good?
Little ditty about Jack and Diane.
Jack and Diane, the poignant tale of white trash in America growing up to be just like their parents, sad and broke, or indeed like my parents.
I don't like the line about sucking on a chili dog.
Sucking on a chili dog, outside the taste freeze.
If I've ever sucked on a chili dog, I'm not going to admit it now.
I try not to use my teeth, but sometimes you have to.
Excuse me?
It depends on the size of the chili dog. What do I do with the chili? I swallow it.
I love 82.
He picks up the puck at the blue line, and there's Gretzky going there, and then Gretzky scores! Gretzky scores!
Wayne Gretzky, the greatest hockey player of all time.
He's the greatest ambassador I think any sport has probably ever had.
Wayne Gretzky is just a fantastic white man. White as white gets.
People here don't give a shit. Up in Canada, man, they were freaking out.
I'm from Canada, and in Canada there are three gods. Number one is beer. Number two is Rush. And on the top of the list, the ultimate Canadian icon is Wayne Gretzky.
The great one. The greatest.
1982 with 92 goals and 120 assists. 50 goals in 39 games.
They're mauling Gretzky over in the corner.
Third consecutive MVP award, which, oh, by the way, it was only his third year in the league.
Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky.
He did for hockey probably what Michael Jordan did for basketball.
On a lonely night, sometimes I take my 12-inch Wayne Gretzky and I snuggle up in front of the fire, and I make love to it.
He scores!
You were always on my mind.
Wayne, I miss you, Wayne. I miss you and everything about you, Wayne.
On my mind. Deja video.
Gloria! Gloria!
I think they've got your number. Gloria.
Laura Branigan's video was the most ghetto video I've ever seen. She's wearing like a sequins leotard. And in the back, it's like literally they've put up like drywall with magnetic tape.
Oh, that's frightening. That must be like, call Gary. He owns that nightclub. Let's see if we can use it for 2 hours.
They get to the set and they're like, this is sparse. Someone go buy 4 disco balls. Small ones, though. Don't spend too much.
It was a good hit for her. You know, I think she's still counting money somewhere.
Oh, did this song suck? I don't have to listen to crap just because I like to eat it.
God, I mean, what do these lyrics mean? It was one of those low self-esteem songs.
Essentially, Laura Branigan is tormenting this poor woman.
I remember like, yeah, why isn't anyone calling? But I wasn't really driving yet. That was...
Up yours, you mother.
In the toy, Jackie Gleason plays this very rich man who tells his son he can have anything in the toy store.
And his son doesn't like anything in the store until he sees this funny black man playing with a Wonder Wheel.
I know what I want. The black man.
And the little kid's name is Master Bates.
Jack, Master Bates.
The movie The Toy teaches you that money can't buy you everything.
This got settled in the Civil War. You can't have slaves. No!
But it can buy you a black man. How do we make slavery funny again? Let's write a movie called The Toy.
That was terrible.
That's a normal thing for white people to get a black man as a toy. That describes America. Deep down, I want to play with a black man.
I like you, Jack.
It's kind of creepy because it's a little white boy that wants a grown black man. That's kind of backwards.
Do you mate a lot?
What? Scott Schwartz, who played the young kid, his body of work was impressive. He eventually ended up in The Wrong Snatch. I wonder if Richard Pryor's ever been watching porn or something and like... Scott?
We shouldn't slight a guy like that for continuing his work as an actor. A lot of child actors, they go to jail.
What do you do with your, thing?
Even though it meant, you know, maintaining wood for 10 hours a day.
Don't worry about your thing. Keep that in your pants for a while. You got plenty of time for that.
I love 82. Coming up, the Road Warrior makes a fashion statement.
This movie really was the first film to make assless chaps popular.
The Beastmaster opens a can of whoop-ass.
Tiger, you stand there. Ferret, you climb in his pants and bite his penis. Let's go!
And what's up with Colin Hayes' eye?
Men at work. That guy had a totally f***ed up eyeball. He had one over here. Yeah, one over here. He's like, hey, I'm over here.
Next on I Love the 80s Strikes Back, 1982. But first, this public service announcement.
Pretend I'm a door to your apartment or your bedroom, and there's a fire on the other side. Feel me. Come on, don't be shy. Give me your hand. Feel me. Am I hot? If I am, don't open me. Get out a different way. Because if it's hot enough outside to make me feel hot, it'd knock you out before you took 2 steps. So in a fire, feel your door before opening it. If it's hot, don't.
Of 1982.
As we go, a little something like this. Hit it! This is Doug E. Fresh, still hanging out with you, bringing you the hottest classical joints of 1982 now. Zun, 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 zun. I know y'all know that. Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force, y'all. The hottest of 1982. Check this one out right now.
1982 was really the year of buff men wearing skimpy loincloths, like Conan the Barbarian, the Beastmaster, and Vice President George Bush.
Here's the story of Conan the Barbarian. The guy who does the voices for CNN, James Earl Jones, kills the parents of the guy who was in Pumping Iron. And he grows up and goes back and kills the guy who does the voiceovers for CNN. I am Conan. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger has about 6 lines in the whole movie, but he does have one monologue where he prays to Crom, his god.
Crom.
I've never prayed you before.
I have no tongue for it.
If you do not want to help me,
then the hell with you.
The hell with you.
Bad to the bone.
You can see why, you know, after you watch Conan, that he has the stuff to be the governor of California.
I would like to be Sandahl Bergman, where she gets to cut everybody's heads off and stuff. I thought that would be really cool.
It's a really good scene where James Earl Jones turns into a big snake. and it looks something like this.
Beastmaster was the movie a lot of boys watched and said, gee, maybe I am gay.
It's always nice to have a story about, you know, a guy in a loincloth who can control the thoughts of animals, and yet wears their skins.
The beast is fierce. It represented a long time ago, like the 60s, when people were running around half naked, talking to the animals.
You're a tigress. I must have sex with you now! Beastmaster!
I'll accept this as payment. Mark Singer looked good as a Beastmaster. I'm secure enough in my masculinity that I can say that. If you had pecs like that, you'd wear loincloth too. Fortunately for me, I do. I have an awesome bod.
John Amos's costume in the Beastmaster was this sort of leather, metal, buttressed, heavy male thing.
Oh my God, that's right, John, over that S&M outfit.
I was invited to a lot of strange S&M parties after I wore that costume in the movie.
Conan could kick the Beastmaster's ass, but I don't know if he could take the Beastmaster and two ferrets.
How about a little help?
Tiger, you stand there. Ferrets, you climb in his pants and bite his penis. Let's go! I love 82.
Yeah, I love Men at Work, actually. I used to listen to Men at Work while I played my ColecoVision.
I met a strange lady. She made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. And she said, do you come from a land down under?
Men at Work must have been inspirational because Australian guys are notoriously lazy, and so it's nice to know that these men were working.
Are they the best export to come out of Australia? What, besides you two? Oh, that's right. They came from Ireland.
I come from a land down under.
Men at Work video Down Under, literally every word, every image is spelled out on screen.
He was 6'4" and full of muscle.
And indeed, he is 6 foot tall and full of muscles. Is this just for deaf people that can't hear the song?
He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. The Vegemite sandwich, I never knew what the hell that meant.
It's a savory spread that you put on toast.
The stuff is nasty.
Shall we? Oh my God!
Yeah, what about
Men at Work. That guy had a totally up eyeball. He had one over here. Yeah, one over here. He's like, I kept, hey, I'm over here.
Can it be knocking at my door? Go away. Don't come down here no more. Can it be now? He was just a weird looking dude who had a great voice.
Tiny kangaroo down sport.
Kangaroos. They come from Australia.
We didn't call them kangaroos, we call them roos.
Kangaroos, it made sense.
The thing about kangaroos is they have pockets. Isn't that cute? Kangaroos, get it?
Keep me cockatoo cool.
If you're gonna market a sneaker towards a man, you gotta pick a more ferocious animal than a kangaroo. You know what I'm saying?
They look quite good. Why didn't I get them?
The only person I ever saw wearing them, interestingly enough, was Walter Payton.
Feel what it's like to be in Walter Payton's shoes. The Walter Payton line from Kangaroos.
Like one of the greatest running backs ever.
I don't know what he needed to keep
my kind of guy.
I think I pretty much was even in the Guinness Book of World Records of being shot the most and not done.
Clearly, it launched Zemed into the stratosphere.
T.J. Hooker, Grease 2, and then, of course, when it all came down to it, Dance Fever.
He's headed for the freeway.
The thing that I loved is like they would like dive off a cliff, and it has this hideous crash that really no two people should survive. And they get out of the car, and he's like, "Oh,
Motorcyclist."
They do have a way of snaking through traffic.
It's a classic. It never gets old.
It's a great show. T.J. Hooker. I've got to get the DVD.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it."
I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Oh, boy.
Pointer Sisters would have bombed for sure.
What is it about? You know, shopping, bargain, life? They're so excited about life.
She was excited about this guy.
I want you.
Let's not kid one another. I think they were really horny. They were just dirty, nasty sisters singing about sex.
And if you move real slow, I let it go. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I think the Pointer Sisters would have done well to withhold a little and not say that they're so excited that they're just about to explode. I mean, at least pretend that, you know, you might be a little interested, but maybe not.
Quite frankly, I didn't want to hear about their orgasms. Thank you very much. Keep that crap to yourself.
I love 82. Coming up, Captain Kirk rides again.
Space. The final frontier.
G.I. Joe is there.
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. Subtext. He'll go to Nicaragua and kick the Sandinistas' ass.
And Richard Gere joins the Navy.
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
Next on I Love the 80s Strikes Back, 1982. And now for Donald Loeb's unfinished thoughts on the Beastmaster.
The Beastmaster guy was like a normal actor guy who all of a sudden shows up in a loincloth, and you're like, what the... Dude, steroids is ruining your career, not unlike Joe Piscopo, you know?
Nerds of 1982.
What's happening, hot stuff? Getting Watanabe here, bringing you the nerds of 1982. Thomas Dolby, blinded by science nerd. Skippy from Family Ties, pain-in-the-ass neighbor nerd. And Sarah Jessica Parker, square pegs, now leaving Nerdsville. Next stop, Sexy Town. Nerds of 1982, trust me, the donger knows.
Officers and gentlemen, great. Really cool, like, fighting, physical dude movie.
Was that with Richard Gere? I just saw it like this year for the first time.
That was the perfect movie. You could go with your man, and he got a little action, and you got the romance.
Love you. I've loved you since I met you.
He's kind of like a good kid from the wrong side of the tracks. And, you know, trying to make something of his life.
Join the Navy. You join the Navy. That's right, I joined the Navy.
That scene where he says, I've got nowhere to go.
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to
I
go.
love Deborah Winger. She was a great actress and one of my idols at the time.
Deborah Winger said that kissing Richard Gere in that movie just made her physically ill. It's like me listening to Journey.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
I always knew that they hated each other. But I don't know, I guess sometimes hate transcends to, like, hot, steamy sex.
I'll rip your eyeballs out the sockets and skull, you to death.
Louis Gossett Jr. got the Academy Award, Best Supporting Actor for that. And we haven't seen him since.
Gossett Jr.'s performance was so compelling. He made us all want to be his bitch and get hosed down by him.
Only two things come from Oklahoma.
Steers and
Which one are you, boy?
I don't see no horns out of you.
Stop whispering, sweet Pete. You give me a hard on.
Lou Gossett Jr. takes him in the ring and beats the hell out of him. That's a real sort of guy pride moment.
See, you've had some training, man, eh?
It looks like Foley's going down, and then
right in the testicles. Ain't that just like Lou Gossett Jr.?
Quit now, nails.
I was in line at LAX, in front of Lou Gossett Jr., mind you. Next thing I know, there's a foot in my balls.
It was so beautiful at the end when he came into the factory and got Deborah.
He comes in and he sweeps her up, everybody cheering for them.
And put his hat on her because he graduated. It was,
I could weep right now. It's so good.
I love E.T. We'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. The real American hero.
G.I. Joe is there once again in the early 80s.
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. Subtext. He'll go to Nicaragua and kick the Sandinistas' ass.
In 82, there was a profound need to make G.I. Joe smaller.
They shrunk him down to this little hard plastic little toy, where the G.I. Joes I grew up with were big, big toys.
Hey, kids. Let's kick some commie ass.
Man, I don't know about his butt. I don't like the way his butt is sticking out.
I love his little itty-bitty gay mustache. And what's this back fat right there? Why does he have hideous back fat right there?
The fridge was a covert agent for the Defense Department.
G.I. Joe's got to have stubble and a beard and kick some ass. Like a G.I. Joe. We can't have that.
My favorite part about G.I. Joe, not even so much the figurines, but the cartoon.
I missed you, Duke.
You certainly did. By that much.
Scarlett, the female intelligence officer, and G.I. Joe got it on. Hey, why didn't you just yell, look out?
Didn't you read my green sheet? Man of action.
My favorite G.I. Joe was Snake Eyes.
Your turn, Snake Eyes!
Because he was like a ninja, and he couldn't talk.
There were a lot of public service announcements with G.I. Joes.
Remember, if a fire breaks out in your home, always test the door first.
The children are watching violence, but now at the end we're going to be like, recycle.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe! Deja video.
Pass the dutchie on the left-hand side.
Pass the dutchie on the left-hand side.
Me and my little friends all loved Pass the Dutchie.
I just remember the video looked like those documentaries on third world countries where they'll show like 8-year-old kids who have to be in the army and they know how to use an AK-47.
It was just such a nice sort of innocent song about drugs.
Pass the Dutchie sounds like maybe pass the weed or pass the smoke. Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side.
They were talking about some serious stuff in that record.
Pass the Dutchie on the left hand. I'm 8 years old, and then I'm smoking the pot.
You don't pass the Dutchie, man. Pass the Dutchie.
Originally, the lyric was pass the coochie, which I think is some sort of illicit substance.
Oh, yeah, they changed the lyrics because it was too controversial.
Our song is nothing to do with passing any drugs of any sort, of any kind.
So it was changed to pass the Dutchie.
Pass the Dutchie is about passing a cooking pot.
Oh, it's a pot. A cooking pot, like whatever.
Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand.
This is a basically unintelligible film in which things that I don't understand happen for an hour and a half.
It was so grandiose and amazing, right? But if you really think about it, it's completely ridiculous.
I think the movie's great. I think that's one of the great rock opera movies.
You'll just have to claw your way through this guy.
I was so scared of it. I was like, I don't want to see Pink Floyd the Wall. My parents found that film for me. I don't know why.
Bob Geldof does a lot of drugs and then shaves off all the body hair on his body.
That's fine. I do that. We all do that. Except I don't do the eyebrows. I go downstairs.
Another Brick in the Wall was one of those songs that really cut through their material with something really clear to say. It's clear that they went to private schools.
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
It said what every kid in every school was thinking, that, the teachers were tyrannical, and a lot of it was an absolute waste of time.
It definitely turned me off of processed meats.
You don't need your meat. You can't have any pudding.
How can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat? I'm sorry, sir. I haven't had my meat. Goodbye.
Hello. Is there anybody in there?
Let's
This is one of those movies that just sort of
not if you can hear
flows over you.
It just seemed like it was really like mental, and that if I watched it, it would with my head.
You had to be on acid to understand it.
I didn't do drugs, so I didn't really get the movie so much. The hammers going like this, maybe that didn't make so much sense to me.
I don't think that you need to be on drugs to understand the wall, but it don't hurt.
I love 82.
Coming up. When did that Fantasy Island guy turn into such a bastard?
You know him as a nice guy, and then all of a sudden you go, gee, Ricardo, I didn't know I had that in you.
Con bloodsucker. Captain Kirk versus Khan. Next on I Love the 80s Strikes Back, 1982. But first, the what the moment of 1982.
In 1982, the Rubik's Cube was so popular that Yale University actually offered a 14-week course on mastering it. What's next? Well, I'm majoring in English, but I'm minoring in Boggle. Hey, Yale, what the
Star Trek! Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, the first good Star Trek movie.
This is Starfleet Operations. Enterprise is clear for departure.
Star Trek had the best characters.
What a piece of work Shatner is.
I'm not a drama critic.
Space. The final frontier.
Montalban and Shatner going mano a mano.
Fire.
They could charge me $20 a ticket to see that, and I'd pony up.
Ricardo Montalban was H-O-T hot.
Ricardo Montalban is a great bad guy. Fire! You know him as a nice guy, and then all of a sudden you go, gee, Ricardo, I didn't know I had that in you.
I'll say this for him, he's consistent.
My favorite part of that is how Ricardo was wearing the fake breastplate.
So much the better.
God, I was so upset to learn that it was a fake chest.
That was a fake chest?
Look at his chest! His chest is huge.
He was buff, tough, and con bloodsucker.
And my favorite line, it's only one word. William Shatner. Con! Con! Con!
See, they're young. Enter through the ears.
They put the thing in their ear and made him go crazy?
It crawls to the guy's ears and he's like, ah!
As a kid, you're just watching that going,
Aren't you dead?
Spock got killed, right? I think he got messed up because he was trying to keep that radiation from killing the whole ship. You had to love Spock because Spock was the smartest person. Spock was holding it down.
Mind melds with McCoy beforehand so that the spirit's in him so that they can bring it back later.
Remember.
Did I give away 3? Oh, no.
He's dead already.
I'll never forget, till this day. You will always be my friend.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah. Sobbing. I was sobbing in the theater, and I snorted. I had to go home.
No.
Very, very, very tough to watch.
They put him in a sunglasses case and fire him into space.
To boldly go where no man has gone.